you, honorable judges, teachers, and all my friends. I am Ainul Maria. Today, I'm going to tell you a story about Tilly the Chinese jailbird. Once upon a time, in a bright and beautiful jungle filled with rustling trees, buzzing bees, and birds that is from dawn to dusk, lived a very tiny bird named Tilly. Tilly wasn't strong like the eagle. She wasn't fast like the falcon. She wasn't colorful like the peacock or musical like the nightingale. She was small, very small, but she had one very special talent. I can sew, stitch, tie, and tuck, lift and twist. I use my luck. Tilly was a tailor bird, the best one in the jungle. She could stitch two leaves together using nothing but her beak, spider webs, and a little imagination. Animals would often pick at her tininess and say, "Wow, so soft, so neat, so perfect." But they didn't think she was important. The elephant would boom, "She's just a little bird." The monkey would laugh, "She's too small to matter." Even the parrot squawked, "Pretty nice, but what else can she do?" Tilly didn't mind. She chirped happily and kept sewing her cozy nest. But one day, something strange happened. The wind started blowing harder than ever. Dark clouds covered the sky. Lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. The jungle animal gathered nervously. "The biggest storm in 100 years is coming!" cried the deer. "It blew our homes away!" yelled the monkey. "Where will we go?" said the frightened rabbit. Everyone was panicking. Everyone except Tilly. She flew to the middle of the jungle and said, "Friends, we can build a shelter. A big jungle shelter for everyone." The animal stopped. They stared and then they laughed. "Ha ha ha ha!" The elephant chuckled. "You want to build a shelter?" The monkey giggled. "With your little wings?" The parrot squawked. "Ha! This should be fun to watch." But Tilly stood tall on the branch and said, "I may be small, but I can sew. If you help me, we can do this together." A few animals looked at each other and nodded. The elephant stomped off and came back with giant banana leaves. The monkey swung two trees and broke along a jungle vine. The parrot flew high and collected soft feathers to keep everyone warm. And Tilly, she zipped and zipped, snip, stitch, tie, twist. Her beak moved faster than lightning. So we stitch and flap and fly. We can do this if we try. All the day work. By sunset, there stood a huge green shelter made of leaves, vines, feathers, and a lot of teamwork. That night, the storm arrived. The wind howled, the trees shook, the rain poured. But inside the leafy jungle shelter, the animals were warm, safe, and dry. When the storm ended and the sun rose, the jungle animal stepped outside and looked around. Their homes were gone, but they had each other, and they had Tilly. The elephant bent down and said, "Tilly, you are not just a tiny bird. You are our hero." Oh, the animal cheered. Three cheered for Tilly the tailor bird. Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! From that day on, the animal never judged anyone by their size again. And Tilly, well, she kept stitching cozy nests and sing happily all day long. "I may be small, but I'm very smart. With tiny wings and a giant heart. Don't ever judge me with my tiny body. This is me, the tailor bird." The moral of the story is, no one is too small to make a big difference. That's all from me. Thank you.